Welcome back to my channel, my fabulous razzlers. In this video I'm going to be showing you my art process and talking to you about why I did certain things and explaining certain things about this art piece and just general chit chat about my artwork. So this artwork is called Finding Myself and it's representing 2020 to 21. With my artwork I do use a lot of different imagery that is non-copyrighted, so you're allowed to use it. And I love this tree design and how it represents the tree of life and that kind of thing. And I wanted to do something that, with the title, like I say, it's Finding Myself. So something from the past jumping into the present, representing, of course, from the old into the new and going to the new year and taking on the new challenges. I love the idea of a book because one of my close friends once said to me, life is like a book and each time you start a new chapter, and they would say that was the end of that chapter and now turn the page and start your new journey. So I love the idea of it being a book and that you're going to jump into this book and you're going to turn the new page and it's in fresh, well not completely fresh, but it's like a new journey that you're going to take. I'm a huge fan of storybooks and like fantasy books, as you may know, and that kind of thing, and I love the idea of it being mystical and magical. So at the moment we've got the tree in the background and the book in the foreground, and then I'm changing it and manipulating it so it looks like it's been drawn over a layer, adding texture and more and more images on top of each other is how I work, and I love it to tell a story to you when you see my art piece. It doesn't have to be the same story that I want it to be. I mean, I love how they can make up a story from an art piece, and what they get from the art piece is their own, obviously, thoughts and stuff like that, because I feel people should get a story from your artwork. That's how I think my artwork, I want it to work basically. I wanted this to represent, obviously we are in December, so I wanted it to be like a cold, frosty kind of sense, and as well in a way because this year has been very, I would say, still, and a lot of people have put their lives on hold a little bit, and how I would say frost and snow and stuff like that does do that. It's like a moment it kind of holds in itself, isn't it? Because the frost keeps it in that present state, I guess. I wanted that on the front, and then I'm just trying out different brushes techniques, because with this program I only got it this year, so I wanted to, and I have been just trying out different techniques and seeing what works and what doesn't. With collage art, what I know is that is the way I'm going with my artwork now, the direction I'm going. It's a lot to do with layering and visually seeing what works and what doesn't work. Like for example, the mushroom then didn't work, that was too much, and then it's just layering and seeing what visually looks fabulous and what doesn't work basically. And I think as an artist you do have an eye for that. I mean, everyone's going to think certain things they prefer rather than how you've done it, but at the end of the day it's your art piece, so it's kind of how you see it, I guess. But I do love the idea of the whole thing of taking different images and making a whole new art piece out of the images. I chose this piece at the foreground because I felt butterflies are like I see them as a rebirth. They kind of go into a cocoon state and they don't know what's going to happen to them next, and I can imagine it's quite scary because they're a caterpillar, then they go into this cocoon state, and then next minute, after they think it's all over, they get reborn into a butterfly. So then they become this amazing butterfly, or sometimes they can be moths, because when I was younger that did happen. I looked after a butterfly that turned into a moth, but then they can fly and just they can fly and just go off and then live their life again in a different state. So that's why I chose the butterfly, because I thought it represents a really deep thing that I wanted it to do in this art piece. This is a dream catcher. So obviously with a dream catcher it captures your dreams, so then you can dream about them and stuff, and it keeps away the nightmares. So that is why I did want to put this in it, but in the end I think I ended up taking it out due to it was just too much going on in the image. The whole overall of it all, I thought it was a bit too much, but that is why I wanted to put this in there, because the whole thing of it captures your nightmares and it keeps your dreams. This imagery I didn't use in the end because I felt it was too much going on. This was the key and the flower and another honor book again. So I felt this represents like a kind of secret garden hidden key kind of thing. Once you find the key, you know the secret and you know how to do certain things and you know how to take on the future in some way. So I just felt that's what that represents. And I suppose it's it could even be because it's on a book as well, the hidden key from the past, like all the stuff that's happened has come to this point, but now you have that key to be able to go into the future and take it on. This was a piece of text, again what I already said, that I love fairy tales and things. So once upon a time, it's a well-known saying of the start of the book, isn't it? And I just love this text, and I love how it's ripped as well, because it looks like it's coming from underneath the page and it's been ripped out. All my artwork is available on Etsy, so do go and check out my Etsy store. That's RazDazThemArt, because if you want to buy anything, it is there. With this piece here, this is a ship that is on a rough sea. So for me, it represents the journey that you have been on, the journey that you have taken to get to where you are now. And I feel like the sea does represent a lot of like emotion and that kind of thing, and your ship is like your voyage of the past and of course still the present, because there's always going to be rough seas, there's always going to be stuff that's going to like slow you down and maybe stop you for a bit, but don't let it stop you completely. I mean, the sea is always ongoing. So that's what I see when I chose this imagery. And I just love the flow of it going into the wise old tree as well, with the boat and the ship and the sea and the water, because earth, water and air is obviously all symbols. And I'm very spiritual, and I think that is maybe why I linked it to that as well. This is like a splatter brush, and I do it a lot with erasing things, and I use the brushes but as an eraser, because I think it gives a really cool effect of like splattering. Of course, this is like a storm scene of lightning, for the whole idea of it being that you've had stormy times and you are now coming out of that stage and going onto the unknown, where there still might be a storm yet to come, but you're coming out of what has passed. So this is a text, Time for Change, that I feel now you're going into the new year, that it is time to change, and change is always happening. And I felt I wanted to put this inside the lamp, because as I was saying, like, I see the lamp as a guiding imagery of it guiding you to the next stage, and I felt like I wanted the text kind of hidden within the lamp. I didn't want it to be really obvious as well. If you have any questions about my art pieces and anything like that, do put in the comment box and interact with me, because I will answer them and let you know my answer of them. So this is of a dancer, and I wanted it to look like she's kind of leaping into the next part of her life. I always love the dancers' form and their shape of their bodies, and I just see it, sometimes I don't always see it as a dance form, I see it as, like I say, it's a representation of someone leaping into the next stage of their journey, the next chapter of their book, like turning the page, like I was saying. And I love that as a silhouette as well. So she's basically leaping and taking on the next stage of her journey, and she's ready. So these are tarot cards. If you don't know what tarot cards are, they're basically cards that mediums use to try and predict the future and try and guide you. So I thought this was really cool to put this in here because they're very spiritual as well, and it's kind of guidance and your spirit guides and your spirits around you and your energies and your vibes are trying to tell you which way to go with your life. This I really loved because it's a clock, and I always do normally use clocks and cogs in my work due to I feel like life is always going, it's always carrying on, you can't pause life. And like in the film Hook, I don't know if you guys have seen that, with Peter Pan, all that kind of thing, I always go back to using clocks and things. I love the old style clocks like this one here, that it's like a pocket watch and it's going along the things that you can't pause time basically, and the clogs are of course the clogs of time. And then I was just trying out different layers and seeing what works best, and merging things into each other with the different brushes and eraser tool, and making things pop and layering up different ways and seeing what looks the most fabulous, and you like changing how vibrant something is. As you can see at the moment, I'm trying to move the book further forward due to I felt you couldn't tell that it's going into a book by this stage because I laid it up so much that I wanted to bring that further forward so you can, it's a bit more obvious that it's going into a book. All my artwork is available to buy on Etsy, that's RazDazThemArt, and I am on Zazzle, Redbubble and Spreadshirt. If you want to buy my stuff on other pieces, for example t-shirts, shoes, diaries, there's so many different things on there, but if you would like to buy my artwork as an art piece, then I am on Etsy, that you can buy your artwork straight from me. Different sizes of prints as well, because I know sometimes you don't want a huge print. Well, you're very welcome to have a huge print of this if you'd love it, but I know some people just want like a small print to put in a frame somewhere. piece that is called Finding Myself, and it was done 2020 and going into 2021. I hope you enjoyed this video, and do comment below if you did, and do give it a huge like if you like this kind of thing, because I'll do more videos of me chit chatting about my artwork and explain to you guys what it's all about. And do put in the comment box if there's any other art ideas you think I might be interested in, because I'll go and check them out. And stay crafty and creative, and see you guys later.